Good morning, everybody, and welcome to class. Some of you might be familiar with me if you've taken classes with me before, if you're new. Some of you will not know me if you're new. My name is Melanie, and I'm going to be your Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday teacher. So I hope we have lots of fun together. All right. Have you guys been having a good couple weeks during these crazy times? I've been keeping busy myself with school and trying to exercise and whatnot, but it's good to be back and teaching all of you again. All right, so let's get started. Tuesday. What day is Tuesday? Tuesday is our reading day and discussion day. So first off, we're going to be doing a reading article together called Charge the Rich, Feed the Poor. After that, we're going to be having a discussion on charities, so that should be interesting. And then for our third class, what are we gonna do? We're doing another reading, actually, involved about homelessness and a very popular show called Sesame Street. Okay, guys, are you ready? Let's get started. So, I would like you to pull out this sheet here, The Guardian, our one and only. So pull it out. Oh yeah, sorry, I totally forgot to mention this. Feel free to say hello and type your name in at any time, just so I can see who's in class today. If you're a new student, you can give me a little quick self-introduction. If you're an old student, you can still type in, be like, hey Mel, good to see you again. Yeah, just so I can see how many students are here today. Okay, so before we start the reading, let's break down this title. Charge the rich to feed the poor. So what does this mean? What exactly is charge? So charge is a word that means, so it's to make someone pay money for something. So for example, when I go out to eat, so usually restaurants will charge, how much will they charge me? You'll charge maybe a 15% tip, for example. So on top of eating your food, maybe you're paying $20, $30, you are usually kind of charged a 15% tip, especially if you're eating with a big group of people. All right, so I'm gonna write that down under new words actually. Okay, this pen is not being nice to us today. Let's switch it up. New words. This may or may not be a new word to you guys, but I'm gonna write it down anyway because I think it's a good word to know. So this is a similar word would be cost or pay. It's related to money, essentially. So I'm gonna get rid of this. All right, so charge the rich. I think you all know what rich means, right? Rich means you got lots of moolah, lots of money. Yeah, that's slang for money, moolah. So rich means you got lots of money. All right, so we're making the rich pay for something. Okay, so let's say here's a rich person and they're handing over their money to another person. So we're charging the rich to feed the poor. Now, you guys know what feed is? So to feed, that's the verb to give food. So to give food to the poor, that's the opposite of rich is poor. Excuse me, something in my throat there. Poor, no money. So essentially, we are going to be reading a story about someone charging rich people so that they can feed poor people who maybe can't afford to eat much food. So this is related to charities. So, and you guys know what a charity is? Anyone know what is a charity? If you know the answer, please type it in. It would be cool if someone knows the answer and they can explain for me. You can just give a very simple explanation. Let me know. What is a charity? What do they do? I'll give you a hint. It is a noun. And charities. Do you think they help rich people or do they help poor people? What are your thoughts? Yes, okay, somebody said they help poor people. Very good. So a charity is an organization and they try to get money to help not just poor people, but they can help poor people, they can help animals, or they can help the environment. So these are organizations that are trying to help all sorts of things. They don't help rich people. Usually rich people do not need charity. So these are things that need help. Okay, guys, now I think we are ready to move on to the warmer. Okay, so question number 1. Now that we know what a charity is, if you're still confused, let me know at any time, okay? Just type in, Mel, I don't understand, help. What is a charity? Just let me know, okay? So, number 1, do you or your family members give money to charity? So for charities to work, people have to actually give or donate money to charity. So, how about you? Do you or anyone you know give to charity? You can let me know. You can type out your answer. You can keep it a short answer. I'll give you an example of my answer. For me, I'm trying to think if lately I have not given to charity, not money, but I have given clothes. You don't have to only give money, but you can give clothes to charity. So for example, there is a charity, 2 charities. There is Value Village. This is a charity, and Salvation Army. For those of you who live in Vancouver, you might have heard of these 2 charities. So here, they are stores that sell very cheap clothing, furniture, like computers, almost anything. So sometimes when I, for example, last year or so, I've gotten a bit bigger. It happens, you know. And some of my clothes, they don't fit me anymore. Wah, wah. So what do? Instead of just throwing them in the garbage, I can give them to charity. Then somebody else whose clothes, they can fit my clothes, they can get these clothes for a very cheap price. So for example, maybe I don't want this anymore. I give it to charity. Maybe it's only going to be $5. Not bad, hey? Pretty good. Sometimes I go here to get my clothes because it's very cheap. So yeah, these are some examples of charities. So these are 2 charities I have given to recently. All right, I don't see anybody else who's given an answer, but if you have any charities that you've given to, feel free to type in your answer anytime, and I would be happy to read out your answer. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of this Value Village and Salvation Army stuff. Okay, now, okay, I think part B we are going to skip because I don't think it's the best warmer. So I think what we'll do, let's move on to part 2. Okay, but if you want to type in an answer for number 1, by all means, please feel free. Okay, so I think you might be familiar with this. So keywords, what are we going to do here? We have 10 sentences. They all have blanks in them. So we have to complete the sentences using these key words. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start setting up the board, and I would like you to try to start matching the words with the text, okay? So just do your best, okay? And again, if you like, feel free to look through here, see if you can find the words, okay? All right, so let's see. I'm gonna have to erase our little drawings, unfortunately, because they do take up quite a bit of room. And let's try this pen and see how she do. All right, so what do we have? We have takings. Okay, this is a noun. We have cutlery, also a noun. All right, also, if you have any trouble reading the board, let me know and I can write larger or try and change pens, okay? Now, what else? We got pioneering. Pioneering. Right. And this would be an adjective, I'd say. Novel. Also an adjective. Now, this is not the book you read, by the way, not that kind of novel. This is a different kind of novel, so be careful. And NGO. NGO. So this stands for something. It's an acronym, which means it's a shortened word for something much longer. So this is made of 3 words. You guys might know this word already. All right, and next is deliberation. Deliberation. And we have helping. Okay, I think this is a pretty straightforward word. Provocative. Provocative. And what else do we have? Initiative. Initiative. And finally, we have dignity. 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 Yes, I spelled that right. Okay. Now, okay, are you guys ready? Let's do number 1, and let's do number 2, and let's do number 3. Okay, so number 1, a blank is an amount of food. Amount of food. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave I'm not gonna write the whole sentence. So number 1, a blank is an amount of food that is served to one person at a meal. So at breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Okay, so this is going to be a blank is, that means we're gonna have a noun here. Okay, so this is gonna be a noun. Cutlery is a noun. Initiative is a noun. Helping, this is actually a noun. It looks like a verb, but in this sense, it is a noun. And this is a noun. Okay, so we have a lot of nouns, but don't panic, it's okay. So, number 1, which one do you think it's going to be? So I'm going to write down the paragraph number in just a moment to help you find the answer. All right, so 1 moment. Okay, so you can find the answer in paragraph 1. I'm gonna write para 1 for short. So try to look for one of these nouns in paragraph 1 and you're gonna have your answer. All right, once you get the answer, please type in the word. In the meantime, I will set up number 2 for you. A blank experience is one that is new or unusual. Okay. A blank experience is one that is new or unusual. All right. So, what do you think this could be? And number 3, I will set up number 3 for you as well. Okay, this pen did not doing so well, unfortunately. A blank experiment. Experiment. A blank experiment is one that is done for the first time using new methods. All right, so what is a method? All right, I'm gonna write down method because I think that's a good word. So a method is a way of doing things. So for example, I'm gonna ask you guys the question, what's your method for learning English? How do you learn English? So one person might say, oh, my methods for learning English are watching movies with English subtitles on and using flashcards to memorize English vocabulary. That's what a method is. So, a blank experiment is one that is done for the first time using new methods or new ways. Okay, so do we have any answers? I see we have one answer for number 1. We have a helping. Very good. Nice, nice. A helping is an amount of food that is served to one person at a meal. So for example, maybe you're at a friend's house, you're having dinner, and you eat your food and you're like, that's delicious. And then your person at your friend, they ask, would you like another helping? That means, do you want more food? You're like, yeah, I'll take another helping, thank you. Maybe you're so hungry you eat 3 helpings at your friend's house. Okay, now number 2. A blank experience is one that is new or unusual. I'm gonna give you guys a hint. It's a word that starts with N. Oh yes, and this is going to be an adjective, by the way, because we got our noun here already, a something experience. So a word that means new. And it begins with an N, N. I'm gonna leave it at that and I'll let you try and guess, okay? And number 3. What do we have for number 3? Okay. Here I'm going to put P. This is gonna be your hint. A P experiment. So, do you think it's gonna be a provocative experiment or a pioneering experiment? Let me know what you think, and then we can write down your answers. Any thoughts? All right, going once, going twice. All right, I don't see any answers for number 2, that's okay. So the answer I was looking for is a novel experience. A novel experience. All right, so novel basically means new. So for example, when I went, 3 years ago, I went to teach in Thailand. So that was a very novel experience for me. Living in Thailand was a novel experience for me. Do you guys ever have any novel experiences? You can let me know. All right, number 3. Did anyone get number 3? I see someone wrote pioneering. Excellent, good job. A pioneering experiment. Okay, so pioneering. This is not a word we use too often in spoken English, but sometimes you see it in written English. So basically, pioneering, it refers to, like, it's kind of similar to novel. Basically, it's something that is done for the first time. So right now, here's a good example. COVID-19, coronavirus. We're trying to figure out, vaccines to cure the virus. So right now, there are many pioneering vaccines being created. or pioneering research into the novel coronavirus in order to find a vaccine. All right, guys, so I'm going to erase this for now. Goodbye, number 1, number 2, and number 3. All right. Oh yeah, and I guess I can tick off the words we've done. So no more pioneering, no more novel, and no more helping. All right, what's next? Number 4. Blank is the collective term for the knives, forks, and spoons people use when eating food. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw a picture instead of writing out. So here's a knife. I tried. Here's a fork. Okay, it looks a lot more like a fork. And here is a spoon. Okay, what is another word for knives, forks, and spoons when they're all together in a collection? So when they're all like this, it's a noun. What do you think it's going to be? All right, and let me take a look. Number 5. Number 5. All right. And blank is an important decision or an important action that is designed to solve a problem. Okay, so if you notice here, we don't have a, we have an. So when we have an, what does that mean the next letter is going to be? The first letter. It is going to be starts with a V, A-E-I-O-U. Yes, a vowel. Thank you. So here's your big hint. Look for the word that begins with a vowel. Hint, hint, there's only one. So this should be pretty easy. Okay, good luck. And number 3. No, not number 3. Bleh. Number 6. Okay, pardon me. Blank are the money. Something. Small a, not a big A, Mel. Are the money. Talking about the money, money, money. It's the money. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Money that a shop or restaurant receives from customers. Okay, now here, again, here's another little hint. Are, so this is going to be a noun, but not a single noun, it's a countable noun, so it's going to be plural. So look for a plural noun, a plural countable noun. So that means, excuse me, sorry, I'm kind of belchy today. Ugh. So look for a noun that has an S at the end. Look for a noun that has an S at the end. There might only be one, so again, this might be pretty simple. I'm giving you some pretty good hints. All right. All right. Any answers for number 4? Any thoughts? No, nothing? All right, so number 4, the answer I was looking for was cutlery. Cutlery. Have any of you guys ever heard of this term before? This is a word commonly used in English, spoken and written, so I'm gonna write it down here, cutlery. So cutlery, the forks and knives and spoons you use. So for example, when I take my lunch to school, I always make sure I have some cutlery in my lunch bag. Otherwise, I'm eating with my hands and that's embarrassing. Don't forget your cutlery when you go to school or work and take your lunch. Okay, number 5. Okay, so like I said, this is going to have a vowel at the start of the word, and that is, yes, somebody wrote initiative. Thank you. An initiative. Initiative. So an initiative is an important action designed to solve a problem. This is a pretty good word and we use it in English quite often. So let me think of an example. Okay, real life example. So due to the whole COVID-19, you guys and me actually were studying at home on a computer. Now sometimes I find it difficult to find the initiative to study at home. So the course I'm taking right now has a lot of reading. I have to do so much reading and sometimes I'm like, I don't want to read. So I get lazy and I don't do it because sometimes I don't have the initiative to study. It's difficult to get the initiative to study sometimes. But we can do it. We'll get through it together, right guys? All right, and last one. Did anyone get this one? So remember, I told you, look for a noun that has an S at the end. And someone found it. Good. Takings. Okay, so takings are the money that a business or a restaurant collects from customers. Now, this is not a word that I hear too often, honestly, but it will pop up in this reading, so that's why we want to learn it today. So just know that takings, it's essentially money, the money that a restaurant gains from customers. Kind of related to charge. Okay, so let's see, what did we got rid of takings, bye-bye. We got rid of cutlery. We got rid of initiative. Okay, so we don't have too many words left. 4. So I'm gonna get rid of all these. Squeaky, squeaky, ouch, sorry, that was loud on the ears. How are we doing, guys? I know it's 10:30 in the morning. Are you still sleepy? All is quiet on the front today. I made sure I had some coffee and some tea before I woke up. No, not before I woke up. After I woke up, pardon me. I got some tea and coffee so I could be energized and charged for class. Okay, what do we have next? Let's change up our pens again because this one's getting tired. Number 7. Okay, that's better. Number 7. Blank is respect. Respect. That other people have for you or that you have for yourself. Now, do you guys know what respect is? I feel like you might know, but I'm going to quickly explain it just in case. So yeah, respect is something, it's a very positive thing. So I'll give you a good example. I really respect my older sister because I think she is very strong and very independent. She can do things by herself and she's very friendly and outgoing. She's very successful. I really respect my sister. I look up to her. So that is what respect is. All right, and number 8. Oh, okay. And blank. So is a non-governmental, non-governmental organization. Oh, just practically spelling it out for you here. Okay, it's getting squishy. Non-governmental organization. Okay, sorry, this pen is not doing so well either. I'll have to switch it up between classes. All right. So this is going to be a noun, and this is going to be a noun too. Now, and, let's see. It almost looks like none of these start with a vowel, even though we have an here. But remember, one of these words sounds like it starts with a vowel. And I'm going to give you a hint for this one. Take a look at these 3 words. I want you to look at these 3 words carefully. See if you can find them in these other words, okay? And number 9. Number 9. Oh my goodness. Try again. Okay. So, if something is described as blank, it may start arguments between people or make people angry or upset. All right, so this is going to also be, this is going to be an adjective. Adjective. Okay, so actually I'm going to get rid of some of these words up here just because it's getting kind of messy. There, this should be easier. All right, and number 10. Let's just put number 10 here. Something is long and careful thought. Long and careful thought. Okay. So, what do you guys think? So number 7, something is respect that other people have for you and you have for yourself. Do you think it's NGO, deliberation, dignity, or provocative? It's going to be a noun. This one is an adjective, provocative. Oh, that's very provocative. All right. And blank is a non-governmental organization. An NGO, a deliberation, a dignity, a provocative. And number 9. So actually, let's do these first. Let's do these 2 first, okay? Any guesses? Any thoughts? Go ahead, write in your answers. I'm just going to take a drink of water. There we go. All right. All right, so I don't see answers for number 7. So basically, number 7, dignity is what I was looking for. Dignity. Dignity. Boink. So dignity is the respect that other people have for you and yourself. So for example, I'm just going to make this up. On Halloween, I dressed up as a clown. And everyone thought I looked ridiculous. I looked so silly. Everyone laughed at me. And maybe I felt kind of embarrassed. So I lost my dignity. Because people don't respect me. They think I'm a joke. So that is what dignity is. It's a good word. I will write it down. Okay. Sometimes the more important things that a person does, the more dignity they have and the more dignity people show them. Okay, did anyone get this one? Yes, NGO, thank you, good. So I know that this doesn't look like a noun, but the way we say it is the letter N, and NGO. So, remember I told you to look at these 3 words, non-governmental organization. This is a word that we hear often in English. So because I think I've said this phrase before, English speakers are lazy. We like to shorten words as much as we can. So we shorten non-governmental organization to NGO. So this means this is an organization that doesn't want to make profit. It's not trying to make money like most restaurants or clothing stores do. They want to give their money to someone who needs it. That's what an NGO is. Okay. And number 9, only one adjective. What could it be? Any thoughts? Yes, someone wrote provocative. Very nice. Thank you. Provocative. Provocative. All right, so provocative, that is. So if something is provocative, it may start arguments. So let me think of a provocative topic. So some people, for example, some people might eat dog meat and they might think it's okay. Other people don't think that's okay to eat dog meat. So this could be a very provocative discussion. Is it okay to eat dog meat? That could be very provocative. So it could start many arguments between people. All right, and of course that means, last word, deliberation is long and careful thought. Deliberation. Okay, this isn't a word I hear super often in English, but it does pop up sometimes. So, for example, maybe you want to come and study in Canada, but it could be very expensive. You're going to be far away from your family and friends. It's a new country. So maybe before coming to Canada, you're going to have a lot of deliberation on whether to go or not. So you're going to think long and carefully about your decision to come study in Canada. Okay, guys, so that is it for number 2. Woo! We got our words all done. I hope you learned some nice new vocabulary. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we still have about 13 minutes before our break. We're going to go through this article, so I'm going to read it just one time. And while I'm reading, I would like you to try and find the information here. Okay, so I'm going to erase all this mess. Okay, get that out of the way. How's the weather where all you guys are? Is everybody here living in Vancouver? Or are there some folks living in different cities or areas? It was sunny yesterday, beautiful weather. Then it got rainy today, but maybe it'll clear up. We'll see. Okay, find the information. All right, number 1. Who is the restaurant in the article named after? Okay, so there is a restaurant in this article, apparently. So there's a restaurant, and what is its name? And it's going to have a person's name. So look for capital letters or big letters. So for example, my name, Melanie, I'm always going to put a big M, a capital M at the start of my name. So look for a name in the article that has a person's name with capital letters. Okay, and number 2, what is the unemployment rate in Spain? So the unemployment rate, unemployment. You know what unemployment is, correct? So employment, that means the ability to have a job. You get a job, you can go to work. Unemployment, it means you can't get a job. There's no work for you. It's hard to work. It's not a nice thing. Unemployment sucks. So the unemployment rate. Now, when you see this number, usually, not always, but usually there's going to be a percentage mark followed after it. So look for something that has a percentage in there, okay? Number 3, where is Antonio Gutierrez? I'm not saying that right. I don't speak Spanish, sorry. Where is Antonio Gutierrez from? So where is he from? So it's going to be a city. Maybe it's a city in Spain. So just like names, remember there's a big letter at the start. So look for a city name that has a big letter, a capital letter. Number 4, what is the youth unemployment rate? Okay, you know what youth are. So youth tend to be younger people, maybe aged, I don't know, 16 to 29, perhaps, like young teenagers to young adults. Youth unemployment rate. Unemployment. Okay, come on, pen, work with me. Youth unemployment rate. Once again, rate, there's gonna be a percentage at the end. So keep an eye out for that, guys. Number 5, when was the charity Messengers of Peace founded? All right, so when, so you're gonna be looking for a date, maybe a year, like 1922 or 2005. So look out for this. Messengers of Peace. Messengers of Peace. Okay, so when you see this name, try to look for a date. So when was it founded? When was it created? And number 6, how many homeless people will the new restaurant feed each evening? Okay. So I'm just going to put number of homeless people fed. This is passive for feed. Okay, so here you're going to look for a number. So how many? 2 people? 10 people? 50 people? Okay, guys, so I hope you understand all of the questions here. So as we're reading, please try to find the answers. If you find the answers even while I'm reading, you can go ahead and type them in, okay? Do not hold back. Give me all you got. Okay, guys, are you ready? So I'm gonna read it just once. Probably once I finish, it's probably gonna be time for our break. Okay, so here we go. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. Charge the rich to feed the poor. Charge the rich to feed the poor. Madrid's, that's in Spain, Madrid's Robin Hood Homeless Cafe. Charity restaurant makes money from customers by day to offer homeless people a dignified dining experience by night. All right, so this was in December 2016. A little before 9 o'clock on Tuesday night, Antonio Gutierrez found himself facing a dilemma. Might he, a waitress asked, have room for a second helping of pudding? Gutierrez, who has already seen a plate of pasta, a fish stew, and a slice of cake, gave it some thought. The option would have been unremarkable for most diners, but for him, it was entirely novel, as was the cafe in which he was eating. Okay, so I'm going to quickly explain this paragraph. So this man, Antonio Gutierrez, he's sitting down. He has eaten pasta, he ate a fish stew, and he ate a slice of cake. And now he's going to get more cake or more pudding. So most people are like, but to this guy, he's like, wow, this is amazing. Why do you think it's amazing for him? Okay. All right, so here we go. This is number 1. See if you can get the answer for number 1. By day, the Robin Hood restaurant, which sits on a side street near the center of Madrid, is a typical Spanish bar. Coffee and croquetas, a fruit machine, a cigarette machine, and a leg of ham under a tea towel on the counter. But at night, it transforms, it changes into a pioneering place where homeless people, such as Gutierrez, 40, from, all right, I think this might be number 3. Yes, where is Gutierrez from? So, but for homeless people such as Gutierrez, 40, from Extremadura, can dine free of charge, no money, at tables set with flowers, metal cutlery, and proper glasses. All right, so Gutierrez, he's homeless. He's on the streets, but he can eat at a nice restaurant for free. Pretty cool, hey? All right. Okay, the restaurant is the latest initiative from the charity Mensajeros de la Paz. Sorry for my Spanish. So this means messengers of peace, hint, hint, messengers of peace, which was founded in 1962 by Father Angel Garcia Rodriguez. Its business model, using breakfast and lunch takings from paying customers to fund free evening meals for the homeless, is simple enough. Its aim, however, is a little more ambitious. The inspiration came from Pope Francis, who's spoken again and again about the importance of giving people dignity, whether it's through bread or through work, said Father Angel. So we thought, why not open a restaurant with tablecloths and proper cutlery, knives and forks, and waiters? People with nothing can come in and eat here at the restaurant and get the same treatment as everyone else. It's just common sense. So basically, these homeless people can eat here for free, and basically this is the founder. So the founder of this, Messengers of Peace, they made this restaurant so that they can help homeless people have a nice meal, because homeless people, maybe like rich people, deserve to have nice things. Excuse me. Okay. Number 4, paragraph 4. Like many Spanish charities, Mensajeros de la Paz is still dealing with human consequences of the country's financial crisis, which has left the overall unemployment rate close to 20% and youth unemployment among Europe's highest at 42%. Each day, Father Angel's nearby church-cum social center provides 200 homeless people with breakfast and lunch. In the evening, the new restaurant will feed 100 homeless people in 2 sittings. Well, that's pretty crazy. Okay, so in the morning and lunch, the restaurant gives 200 homeless people breakfast and lunch. And then in the evening, 2 sittings, 50 people, then after, another 50 people for dinner. Cool. If the initiative is successful, the NGO plans to extend the scheme plan and hopes it will attract famous chefs who will give up the odd evening to come and cook in the kitchen. Man does not live by bread alone, but the Bible forgot that some people don't even have bread, said Father Angel, 79. So we're trying to give them bread. All right, and number 6. All right, guys, we're doing good. So I think we are just about out of time. So put a little note next to paragraph 6, and we're going to finish this after the 10-minute break, okay? And if you have some answers to these, please don't hesitate to type them in at any time, okay? But it would be nice for you to also take a break. So go ahead, grab a glass of water, drink some coffee, whatever you do, and we will see you, in 10 minutes. Okay, guys, have a lovely day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hi guys, and welcome back. Did you have a nice break? I sure did. Had some more tea, got myself all ready. All right, so let's continue. Okay, so we were reading and we got to paragraph 6 and then the break popped up. All right, so let's reiterate what happened. Okay, so we got this amazing restaurant that helps feed poor homeless people, and basically what happens is the rich are being charged money, but the poor are not being charged money to sit down and have a nice meal. All right, so now let's go back to paragraph 6. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. The priest acknowledges that there may be something a little provocative in naming the restaurant after a figure who redistributed wealth at the tip of an arrow and the point of a sword. But the idea is less to rob the rich than to encourage the rich to share their good fortune, to share their money. The name is just to spice it up a bit and to get people to notice. Okay, so basically this might sound a bit confusing to those who are not familiar with the figure Robin Hood. So I'm gonna write that out. Robin Hood. He is a very famous, legendary person in English literature. So he is a fictional man. What would happen is he would go to rich people and he would steal money from them, often using bow and arrow or using a sword with his friends, and he'd give that money to the poor because he thought it was unfair how rich people had all this money and were comfortable and poor people were suffering. So that is why Robin Hood is a very famous character. He stole from the rich and gave to the poor. So that's why it's a bit provocative to name the restaurant Robin Hood, maybe. But it's more just to get attention. Okay, next paragraph. Around the packed tables of the restaurant on Tuesday for its opening night, the talk was less of legendary outlaws and more about the excellent fish course. The food here is great and very elegant. Fancy. Said Ramon Louis. I'd give it loads of stars and I'll be back tomorrow. So to give it loads of stars, that's, like on Google reviews, 5 stars, love the food, would come again. For Carmen Junquito, the tablecloths and crockery made a welcome change to the soup kitchen sandwiches she normally had for dinner. This restaurant is life and happiness for me, she said. It's the best thing there is. It's the best thing in the world. So these homeless people, usually they have very simple meals, like very simple sandwich, very simple soup. So to come to this beautiful restaurant, have the tablecloths, fancy fish, it's something really new and exciting for them because normally they don't have money to afford it. All right, last paragraph. Here we go. Gutierrez, who has been homeless for a decade, 10 years, has not eaten at such a restaurant for 4 to 5 years, except when Father Angel had taken him out. If you don't have anything, this means a lot, he said. After a few seconds deliberation, careful thought, he ordered another piece of cake. So remember at the beginning, he was like, oh, should I have more cake? Should I have another slice? Now he decides, yes, I'm gonna take another slice. So that's the story. Pretty cool, huh? I was really happy when I read this story. What did you guys think of this? What were your thoughts when you read this? I thought it was very cool because, that's great. I think it's wonderful if people without money can also have these nice dining experiences without having to pay so much money. So yeah, very cool charity. I don't know if there's one in Vancouver like this, but I think it would be a nice idea. Okay guys, so let's go through the comprehension questions. Now you notice I've written down the paragraph numbers to help you get the answers. All right, so number 1, what is the restaurant's name? Okay, so I'm gonna read out a bit of the paragraph and give you a hint. Okay, By day, the Robin Hood restaurant, which sits on a side street near the center of Madrid, is a typical Spanish bar. So I just said the answer. Type in your answers now. I talked about it like 5 minutes ago, so it should be kind of an easy answer. Number 2, what is the unemployment rate in Spain? So this is in paragraph number 4, right? So Spanish charities are dealing with the human consequences of the country's financial crisis, which has left the overall unemployment rate close to 20% and the youth unemployment rate at 42%. All right, so type in your answers for number 2 and number 4 if you can. All right, and number 3, where is Gutierrez from? This is paragraph 2. What city is he from? Okay, so this might have been a bit tricky. So, at night, the restaurant transforms itself into a pioneering place where homeless people, such as Gutierrez, 40, from Extremadura, can dine free of charge. So where is he from? Don't worry if you didn't catch it. Just read it out and type it out. Okay, and number 5. When was Messengers of Peace established? When was it founded? All right. The restaurant is the latest initiative from the charity Messengers of Peace, not Peach, which was founded in 1962. So get your answers in. All right, I'm starting to see some answers come in, which is great. I see Robin Hood for number 1. Yay, you got it. Robin Hood. Steal from the rich and gives to the poor. That's Robin Hood, superhero of England. You could think of him as like England's superhero, I suppose. Yeah, so the restaurant's name is Robin Hood. And the unemployment rate, I see somebody has typed in 20%. Very good, thank you. 20%. That is pretty high for a country. Very high, actually. All right. And someone typed in Extremadura. Very good. Nice. Thank you. All right. Extremadura. Okay. Extremadura. Good, good. And what about youth employment? What did we type? Okay. Yes, somebody wrote 42%. Very nice. Good stuff. Youth employment is about 42% in Spain. That's very high. Almost half of youth cannot find work in Spain. That's what this means. That's pretty tough. All right. How about when was Messengers of Peace established? A date. We're looking for a date. Begins with a 19. It's a bit of an older organization. 19, which date? 1962. Thank you. Very good. 1962. All right. Last question. Okay. So, this is paragraph number 4. How many homeless people are fed in an evening? So how many are fed at dinner time? Okay. Each day, Father Angels is nearby. Church Comes Social Center provides 200 homeless people with breakfast and lunch. In the evening, the new restaurant will feed 100 homeless people in 2 sittings. So how many people will the restaurant feed in the evening? How many? You could just type in the number. Going once, going twice, and I see 100. Good, thank you. Well done, nice. That's right, it's going to feed 100 people in the evening. Okay guys, good stuff, good stuff. How was that? Was it fairly easy to understand? Or is it a bit difficult? Or was it really hard? You can let me know. I think you're smart though. I think you got this. Okay, guys. Now, number 4, comprehension check. Woo! I want you to flip to this page. This is multiple choice. So, this means you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting these answers correct. So I'm going to erase this. We're going to say goodbye to Robin Hood for now. Oh my God, that's squeaky. Sorry. Ooh. Have you guys ever heard of Robin Hood before today? Or is he a new character for you? There's a very kind of a famous Disney movie based on Robin Hood, but it has animals. Robin Hood is a fox, I believe, in that Disney version. Okay, that's all done. And okay. Only 4 questions here, so this is a pretty short section. So we're gonna blast right through this. Okay, number 1. What is the main purpose of the Robin Hood project? Okay, so you're going to find the answer in paragraph 2. What is the purpose? Is it A, to take money from rich people? B, to give homeless people cheap food? Or C, to give homeless people a proper meal free of charge at no money? Is it A, B, or C? You can type in A, B, or C, okay? Go ahead. I'm gonna prepare number 2 in the meantime. Wow, this pen is absolutely shot. Let's try this one. Okay. All right, 2. How is the project funded? Okay, so to fund something means to get money to make something work. So for example, if you want, maybe you want to invent a time machine. Ooh, that's cool. But in order to build your time machine, you need money. Maybe you need funding from someone like the government or a generous rich person. So how is the Robin Hood restaurant funded? How can this restaurant feed homeless people? Okay, A, by collecting money on the street. B, by using takings from paying customers earlier in the day. C, by using profits from the fruit and cigarette machine. Which do you think it is? Type in your answers now. That goes for everybody watching. Please and thank you. Facebook people, YouTube people, wherever you are. Okay, and number 3. Who provided inspiration for the project? Who thought of the project, basically? A, Father Angel Garcia Rodriguez. B, Pope Francis. C, Messengers of Peace. Oh, sorry, I forgot this. Okay, number 2 is gonna be in paragraph 3. Number 3, the answer is also in paragraph 3. All right, and number 4. Last one. Why was the name Robin Hood chosen? Why did they choose this name? A, because the organizers want to attract people's attention. So to attract someone's attention means like, oh, Robin Hood, that's an interesting restaurant name. B, because he was an outlaw who stole from the rich and gave to the poor. C, because homeless people associate with Robin Hood. So to associate means you relate to. So for example, homeless people are like, I can relate to Robin Hood. He's like me. He's very similar to me. Yes. So that is what associate means. Okay, and this one you can find the answer in paragraph 6. Paragraph 6. Paragraph 6. Okay, guys. So please type in your answers. Any thoughts? Let me just grab some water. Ooh, that totally splashed in my face. Ooh. My water bottle's aggressive. It splashes water when I press the dispense water button for some reason. Okay, I see someone has an answer for number 1, and they wrote C, to give homeless people a proper meal free of charge. Good, yes, the answer is indeed C. All right, number 2, how is the project funded? And someone wrote B, by using takings from paying customers earlier in the day. Nice, good. So remember what that be, takings? So essentially the restaurant, they get paying richer customers in the day, they take the money, and then at nighttime, they can feed the homeless for free. And number 3, who provided inspiration for the project? I see someone did write B, Pope Francis. That is correct. Very good. Pope Francis, the famous Pope, Pope Francis. And number 4, last one, guys. Why was the name Robin Hood chosen? Yes, somebody wrote A, because organizers wanted to attract people's attention. So letter A. Good. All right, guys, nice work. Thank you for your participation. So I'm gonna erase this, and how are we doing for time? Okay, I think we're fine. So let's move on to number 5. Find the word. Okay, so this shouldn't be too difficult because it has the paragraph number written next to it. So I'd like you to go to paragraph 1, for example, and try and find a word or phrase with the same meaning. So number 1, for example, a 2-word phrasal verb meaning finish a meal or dish completely. So what I want you to do is you're gonna go to paragraph 1, you're gonna read over, and you're gonna try and find a phrasal verb. And the answer for that, I'll do the first one for you, is, let me see, off. Okay, so I'll write that down in a second, but that's what I want you to do. Get rid of this. All right. Okay, so in paragraph 1, you'll notice there is a verb. He said, Gutierrez, who has already seen off a plate of pasta, a fish stew, and a slice of cake. So to see off is kind of similar to saying goodbye. In this sense, see off means he has completely finished and eaten the whole meal. Okay, let's get rid of those 2. Let's go for this one. All right, so that was number 1. Number 2. So this is paragraph 1 again. An adjective meaning very ordinary. No qualities that interest or impress you. So something normal like eh. So look for an adjective in paragraph 1 with that meaning. All right, and number 3, a noun. Okay, so I'm gonna put an adjective, and a noun. A noun meaning a long, flat surface where customers are served. This is in paragraph 2. And let's do number 4. So a 2-word noun phrase. So 2-word noun phrase. Meaning the ability to use good judgment and make sensible, good decisions. All right, so let's do these 3 for now. All right, so what's number 2? What do you guys think? Number 2. Any thoughts? All right, so I'll quickly read out part of the paragraph and see if you can get the answer. Okay, so Gutierrez, who has already seen off a plate of pasta, a fish stew, and a slice of cake gave it some thought. All right, the option would have been unremarkable for most diners. What do you think the answer is there? I'll let you type it in. And number three. I'm getting all my numbers mixed up. Okay, so this one is also in paragraph 2, I believe. All right, so coffee and croquetas, a fruit machine, a cigarette machine, and a leg of ham under a tea towel on the counter. So what's number 3? Long flat surface where people eat and drink. And number 4, 2 noun phrase. All right, what could this be? And this was paragraph. All right, so this is paragraph 3. Listen here. People with nothing can come and eat here in the restaurant and get the same treatment as everyone else. It's just common sense. All right, so I see some answers are starting to come in. Excellent. So what do we have? We have, someone wrote unremarkable, and that is correct. Good. Unremarkable. Unremarkable. So basically that means just ordinary, not amazing. Unremarkable. All right, and number 3, long flat surface where you eat. Somebody wrote counter. Good, thank you. Counter. Counter. So I think most of you know what a counter is. Okay, and 2-word noun phrase. Okay, so I don't see any answers. What I wanted to see was common sense. Common sense. So this is like just kind of basic knowledge of, you know, like what you should and shouldn't do. So for example, you shouldn't walk across the street without looking both ways. That's common sense. You don't run into traffic. Common sense. Okay, guys. So I'm going to erase these and we're going to do the next 4. And then I think we'll finish up with the reading and we'll probably go on to discussion after. Okay. Okay. So to do a lot of flipping here, you have to excuse me. I think I'll just take this off actually. There we go, that's better. All right, so number 5. So this is a noun, meaning period of time which a meal is served. So this is paragraph 4. Sorry, I promise I'll get some new pens during the break, guys. Okay, and number 6, a verb. Oh, this is different. We're getting into verb territories. All right. Yeah. A verb. A verb meaning accept or admit something is true. And this is paragraph 6. And number 7, 2-word phrasal verb. So you're going to look for 2 words. 2-word phrasal verb. Phrasal verb. Na, 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 na. And paragraph 6. Lots of paragraph 6s here. And last one. A noun. Noun. So this is in paragraph 7. So a noun meaning a collective term. So collective term, that means things that are grouped together. It means plates, bowls, dishes, and whatnot. Okay. So paragraph 4, let's do that. Here we are. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Too many pieces of paper. My bad. Okay. All right, so in the evening, the new restaurant will feed 100 homeless people in 2 sittings. Okay, so what is the noun meaning a period of time when a meal is served? What is the noun there? All right, and let's do number 6. So number 6, a verb meaning accept or admit that something is indeed true. Paragraph 6, the priest acknowledges that there may be something a little provocative in naming the restaurant after a figure who redistributed wealth. So what is the verb? It starts with an A. I'll give you a hint there. This begins with an A. And number 7. 2-word phrasal verb meaning make something more interesting or exciting. Also paragraph 6. Okay. The name is just to spice it up a bit and get people to notice. All right. So this begins with an S. See if you can guess what it is. And number 8. Paragraph 7. So this means collective terms for dishes, cutlery, cups, everything. Okay. For Carmen Junquito, the tablecloths and crockery made a welcome change to the soup kitchen sandwiches she normally had for dinner. All right, so what was the noun that means dishes, cutlery, and everything? Okay, I'm starting to get some answers. Number 1, I see somebody has wrote sitting. And that is correct. Very good. Sitting. So this is usually used for restaurants, especially very popular restaurants where you have to make a reservation ahead of time. So for example, maybe if you want to go to a restaurant for Valentine's Day, so many people want to do that. So maybe there's going to be 3 sittings, 1 at 5 p.m., 1 at 7 p.m., and 1 at 9 p.m. So maybe you have to go to the 7 p.m. sitting. Okay, and I see someone wrote, for number 6, they wrote acknowledge. And that is correct. Good. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. So that means to admit something is right. Okay. And how about the next one? Number 7. I don't see any answers for number 7. Bit of a trickier one. So the answer I was looking for is spice up. So this is an idiom. So spice up means to make things more interesting. I'm going to write it down here because I think it's a good idiom. Spice up. So for example, when I moved into my apartment, the walls were very boring. There was nothing, it's just kind of boring looking. So I decided to spice up my apartment by adding posters, painting the wall green. Now it looks awesome, in my opinion. All right, and last one. Somebody wrote crockery, and that is indeed correct. Crockery. Crockery. All right, this is not a word I hear too often, especially in North America, but it basically is a collective term for dishes, glassware, and cutlery. Refers to things you have at the table when you eat. Okay, guys, good stuff. How are we doing for time? Let's take a look. Okay. Well, I think, okay. What we'll do is maybe we can go to the discussion. Let's do discussion. And if we finish the discussion really quickly, we can do the rest of the Guardian. But let's move on to this for now, just to change it up. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this. Good job on the Guardian article, everybody. I know it's a bit of a long one, but I hope you had fun reading it. All right, so get rid of these. Okay, and get rid of that drawing. Alrighty. So, I hope you all got your little charity discussion out. Charity, and charities discussion. Okay, so now you might think it's a little bit funny that there are two charities here. So we have charity and charities. Okay, so this is a bit of a different meaning from this one, just slightly. Now, charity, this is the act of giving or showing kindness to another person who is in need. So to give charity to someone, so to give charity to someone. So basically this means you are showing kindness to another person who might be in need. So let's say someone, maybe they're outside, maybe they're cold, and maybe it's snowing. So maybe you give them, a scarf, just to help them stay warm. And then maybe you even take them out and maybe you have like a nice hot cup of coffee together. Yay, coffee. And here he is with his nice new scarf. So giving charity or showing charity to someone is not just giving money. It could be just being kind to someone who really needs it. So that's what they mean by this here. This is charity. Now charities, these are organizations, NGOs. Remember that word, NGO? Non-governmental organizations. They're not looking to become rich. What they want is to help these kind of people. Sometimes they give money, sometimes they give clothes or food, and it's not just people. Again, remember I told you, so it could be they can help people, animals, they can help the environment. I think these are the main things that charities tend to do. These are like the three big groups they help. People who need help, animals, and the environment. If you have any other ideas, feel free to let me know though. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's do our discussion. Now we're not gonna do every single question. We're just gonna do like maybe half of them or less than half. We'll see. Okay, let's do question number 1. Do you have a favorite charity? Do you have a favorite charity? What is your favorite charity? What is your favorite? Okay, so for me, for example, I think my favorite charity, I think it's a charity, is the SPCA. Do you guys know what the SPCA is? I think it's fairly international. I think most countries have one in their own country. But this stands for the Society of the Prevention to Cruelty of Animals. So this is a charity that helps animals out. So sometimes people are very mean to animals. Sometimes they might hit them or they don't give them food or water. This charity makes sure that these animals are safe and have a nice warm home. And they try to help people to adopt these animals because they will live in a building, which is not the greatest. So if you want a dog or a cat, you can go to the SPCA and adopt them. So that's my favorite charity, one of my favorite charities, because I love animals, especially dogs. So, what is your favorite charity? Any thoughts? It could be any charity in the world. Like, there's no right or wrong answer. I just want to know what your favorite charity is. Okay, so I'll give you a few examples. For example, yeah, we got SPCA. We got UNICEF. So UNICEF is it's a charity that helps children around the world, maybe children who need to go to school. So they can't afford going to school, so UNICEF helps get money to get children to go to school. So that's another example. What are some other examples? Get rid of this. How about Doctors Without Borders? Doctors Without Borders, or sometimes it's called this. That's the French title, Médecins Sans Frontières. So that means, yeah, Doctors Without Borders. These are doctors that will go to other countries to help people who can't afford medical care. Or if a country is in a war or there's like all sorts of awful things happening, these doctors will go to help those people. That's another good charity. All right, so those are just a few examples. Let me know what your thoughts are and if you have any favorite charities. Okay, let's see. Let's go to question number 3. Question number 3 relates to governments. So, should governments help charities more? Should governments help charities? Help charities. So do you think governments should do more to help charities? What do you think? So this might depend on the government or it might depend on the charities. But some charities get help from the government, some don't get help. So by help, usually this means money. So personally, I think, this is my opinion. I want to hear your opinion. You could just type in yes or you could type in no. Totally up to you. But personally, I think yes, government should help. Maybe not all charities, but especially those who are trying to help people. For example, people of different races in Canada who are struggling. So a good example are Black people and Indigenous people in Canada. Sometimes they are in very difficult circumstances and situations, and they don't have money to go to school or to even, have basic needs or like meet their bills. So I think charities that are trying to support racial equality and homeless people, I think the government needs to give some money to these charities to help out our people. That is my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you have an opinion on this? Do you think government should give more help to charities? Yes or no? Let me know your answers, and if you can, maybe tell me why. Okie doke. If you write out your answers, I'll definitely read them out. I would love to do that. Okay. Get rid of that. And okay. So feel free to keep typing your answers even if I move on to another question, okay? Number 4. How often do you give money to charities? How often? So how often do you give money to charities? Don't worry, I'm not going to judge you if you don't give money. This is not a judgmental question by any means. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I cannot remember the last time I gave actual money to a charity. It's been a very long time since I've done this. Usually I don't give money to charity. One reason is I don't have a huge amount of money myself. So I do try to save my money if I can, especially because usually what happens here anyway, if you give money to charity, then they call you up and they're like, hello, hi, just wondering, you gave us some money for charity 2 months ago. Would you be able to give some more money to us? I really don't like that. I find that a little bit annoying because I don't always have the money to help out. So I do not do this often. Maybe I should though. Maybe I should start giving. So for me, very rarely. I rarely give to charity. What about you? How often do you give to charity? All the time? Sometimes? Rarely, like me? Never? It's okay, you can say never, there's no judgment here. Let me know your answers below. All right, and okay, we're gonna move on to another question. 5, oh, this is an interesting one. Have you ever received charity from others? Have you ever received charity from others? So unfortunately, I erased that picture of the guy, the homeless guy getting help, like coffee and whatnot. So has anyone ever helped you when you were in a difficult situation? Have you ever received charity from someone? Has this ever happened to you? You can let me know. For me, I can't recall. I don't think this has happened. I mean, I guess when I was in high school, my friend invited me out for lunch, but I said, I'm sorry, I don't have any money. I can't go out for lunch with you. And she said, don't worry, I'll pay for you. And she did this like a good 3 to 5 times. This is a very nice friend. She showed me charity quite often. So that's my one example I can think of. In high school, I didn't have a job, so I didn't have my own money. But my friend had a job, so she would take me out for lunch sometimes, and yeah, and she showed me charity. Maybe that's not the best example, but I've never really been in a very difficult situation where I was homeless or, was in a lot of financial trouble. So I've been pretty fortunate, I think. How about you? Have you guys ever received charity? Was there a time maybe when you had little money and you needed help from some friends or anyone else and they were able to give you some money to help you get through school or until you found a new job? What do you think? This might be a bit of a tricky question. It might be kind of tricky to think of an example, so don't worry if you don't have an answer. Okay, let's move on. What else do we have? Number 6. I think this would be a good one. Number 6. Would you like to work for a charity? Would you like to work for a charity? For a charity. Okay. So this is a yes or no question. Would you like to work for a charity? There's no right or wrong answer, by the way. It's just your opinions and your thought. Do you think you would like to work at a charity? Does it sound fun? What do you guys think? Me, I think it could be very rewarding because I would feel, oh, I'm doing good for some people, like, people or animals who need me or the environment. I did volunteer work. That means unpaid work for a charity once. It was a charity that tried to get money to help with saving the environment. But the type of work I was doing was not really fun. I had to talk to people on the phone and I really didn't like that. I don't like talking on the phone. It's not my favorite thing. So for me, it depends what kind of work. What about you guys? Would you like to work in a charity? You could tell me what kind of charity. If I were to work in a charity, maybe one with animals, that might be fun. Perhaps I'd like that. Let me know if you want to work at a charity or not. Have you ever worked for a charity? That's a good question. Do you have experience doing this? You can let me know if you have experience working for a charity. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so let's do number 7 actually. Number 7. This is a good question. This is why some people don't donate, including me, maybe. Do you worry where your money goes when you donate to charities? Do you ever kind of like, oh, where's my money going when I donate? What's gonna happen? So this is a very valid worry because some charities, you might be giving money, but sometimes when you give money, you get like a little reward. So let's say, for example, you want to give some money to Save the Pandas. Maybe there's a charity that's dedicated to saving the pandas. Save the pandas. So if you give some money to this organization, then sometimes this organization gives you a little gift, like a thank you gift. So maybe you might get a little gift. Maybe it has a cute little panda bear on there. Or, you know, maybe you get a stuffed animal. So when you give money, sometimes you get gifts back. But sometimes this money is used to make these gifts. So you're essentially just buying things almost. So that can sometimes happen in charities. Not always, but sometimes it does happen. So that's why I think it's another reason why I'm a little bit concerned about donating to charities, is that this money that I'm giving to save the pandas might just be me buying panda junk. I don't know. So this is a worry of mine. So yes, I do worry where my money goes if I donate. Do you guys ever worry where your money goes if you donate? Has something like this happened to you? You can let me know in the comments, okay? All right, I think we have time for one last question before our second break. Let's see. What's a good one? Okay. Oh, okay, let's do number 3. Let's go down to, actually that might be a little bit too personal. Let's do number 4 in section B. So we're gonna go down. Do you think we should all donate some of our salary to charity? So should we donate some of our salary? Some of our salary to charity? What do you guys think about this? This could be a very polarizing discussion because some people might agree, like, yes, we definitely should give some of our money to charity. You know, if we're rich and well off, we need to help the poor. Some people work very hard for their salary and don't want to just give their money away. So what do you think? I don't know. I don't really have an answer. I'm kind of on the no side. I don't think it should be forced. I think people should decide for themselves if they give their salary to charity or not. I think it's up to the people who make their own salary. That's just my opinion though. What do you guys think? Do you think we should have some of our salary given to charity automatically? For me, I get taxes taken off, so after my taxes, sometimes I'm a little hesitant to give to charity. That's another thing. I don't know, it might be different with your guys' country, but feel free to let me know. Okay guys, so it is now 11:50. That means we're up for our second break. So after the break, We're going to be doing breaking news English, so please prepare this for your next lesson. All right, so get a drink of water, take a quick power nap. We'll see you in 10 minutes. See you soon. Hello everybody and welcome back. Last class for today. All right, how are we doing? Did you have a good break? Freshen up with some water? Did you take a quick power nap? Maybe not, 10 minutes is not much time for a nap, but that's okay. We're almost there. All right, I just saw that someone named Elias der Messias, sorry, I'm probably not saying your name right, Elias, and they said no. So I'm assuming that Elias was responding to one of these questions that says, do you think we should all donate money from our salary to charity? To which he said no. So yeah, Elias, I think I kind of agree with you. Like I said before, I think it's up to each individual to decide what they do with their salary. We do get taxes taken from our salary already, so it can be a bit surprising and difficult if more of our money's being taken away. So thank you for your opinion, Elias. Thank you for chiming in there. I love seeing people give their opinions to these discussions. It always makes it fun, so don't be afraid to speak out. Okay, friends, so like I said, we're going to be doing breaking news English now. So I know it looks like more reading, but this is a shorter article than the last one. So don't worry too much, like if you're getting tired of reading. I think this is a very interesting article. I like this one. All right, so let's write out the title. New Sesame Street. Do you guys know Sesame Street? Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? How to get to Sesame Street? Sunny days, washing the clouds away. Is it ringing a bell for anyone? Do you guys know this? So this Sesame Street, you can see right here, there's a nice little picture, some very colorful characters. You guys, a lot of you might be very familiar with this character. I hope I'm drawing him correctly. He's red. His name is Elmo. Does that ring a bell, anybody? So yeah, Sesame Street, it is a show mainly for children, but families can watch it together. Very popular American show that helps children learn like their ABCs, their 1, 2, 3s, and about all sorts of things like how to talk to people at school or what to do if you get into a fight with your friend. It's a very good program with cute little puppets and real people that teaches children about life. It's extremely well known here in Canada and in the United States. And I think quite a few other countries have this show translated into their own language. Have you guys ever watched Sesame Street before? Do you know this? You can type in yes or no, okay? And do you like Sesame Street? So when I was young, like when I was 3 to 5 years old, I watched Sesame Street a lot, almost every day. My parents and the daycare I went to, they love to play this because it's very good programming for children. Yeah, and it's quite easy to watch. It's not scary. It's a very nice show. If anyone has children who's taking this class, if you have young children, I recommend watching this show. I think it's a very good, timeless classic. Okay, so let's take a look at this title and break it down. New Sesame Street character. Okay, so do you guys know what a character is? So a character is a person in a show or a book. So for example, Elmo is a famous character from Sesame Street. So Elmo is a character from Sesame Street. I'm just going to type SS for short because I'm lazy, sorry, and we don't have much room on the board. So that is a character. So Elmo, he's a pretty well-known character. He's an old character. Big Bird, old character. Cookie Monster, old character. New Sesame Street character, ooh. So this is 2018. So this was just 2 years ago. So a very new Sesame Street character. highlights homelessness. Okay, so what does highlight mean? So I'm gonna put this under new words. New words, highlight, to highlight. Okay, this is a verb. So when you highlight an issue, you make someone aware of something. So for example, so I watched a really good movie the other day, or so TV show. This TV show is called Avatar, The Last Airbender. Watched it on Netflix. So let's just pretend the movie. Okay, so the TV show, I don't know why I thought it was a movie. The TV show Avatar, The Last Airbender highlights, it shows the importance of friendship and trust. Let's say the importance of trust. Okay, so this is just an example of what highlights mean. So it shows, it emphasizes. So Avatar highlights the importance of trust. New Sesame Street character highlights homelessness. Okay, so I think we all know the adjective homeless. For example, who has been to Vancouver? I think many of you may have been to Vancouver. You studied here. You probably noticed there were many homeless people on the street. So homelessness is the noun form, homelessness. So this is the issue of being homeless, say in Vancouver or many other countries. I think many countries and cities do have this problem. It's a very unfortunate problem. All right, now not all homeless people are on the street. Some homeless people, they might live at their friend's place on the couch, but it's not their home, it's just temporary. Or some homeless people might go to different shelters every night. So homelessness can have many shapes and forms. Okay, so what we're going to be reading about, a new character in Sesame Street, and they're talking about homelessness. That sounds pretty cool, hey? I think it's great that Sesame Street is bringing up these issues. Okay, so let's just get rid of this. Oh, I love this pen, it's beautiful, great pen. I should have bought this out earlier today. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to read through this once, and I'll try to explain the article as I read through it, okay? Maybe I can put some pictures in. Okay, so please follow along. All right, so let's go ahead. So I'm gonna start. The world famous children's television show, Sesame Street, has introduced a new character to highlight the plight of homeless children. The educational TV series, which has been aired since 1969, is helping to tackle the issue of homelessness via a new character called Lily. Okay, so this show has been running since 1969. This is a pretty old television series, pretty cool. All right, so Lily is a 7-year-old girl who was left homeless after her family lost their apartment. All right, so I don't know what Lily looks like, but let's pretend this is Lily. So here's Lily, and maybe here's her family. Here's her mom, and here's her dad. Whee! Yeah, beautiful pictures, I know, right? Such an artist. So this is Lily, her mom, and their dad, and they have a home in an apartment. So here's the apartment, and let's say maybe they were living right here. So this was their home. This is where they lived. However, something happened. and they lost their home. Maybe the rent got too high, or maybe the building got knocked down, who knows? But now they are without a home. That's pretty sad, hey? So the whole family has lost their house. Okay. So Lily's plight mirrors that of over 2.5 million children in the USA who are also homeless. That's a lot of children. Millions more youngsters around the world are in the same situation. A Sesame Street spokeswoman, Sherry Weston, hoped the character Lily would reduce the stigma associated with homelessness and allow children to identify with her and hopefully feel less alone. Okay, so stigma. Have you guys heard of this word? Stigma. This is a noun. So stigma refers to negative thoughts and feelings towards someone. So let's say, for example, maybe Lily is in school and there are some other children, and maybe these children, they're not homeless, they're fine. So they have a home, but Lily does not have a home. And maybe they look at Lily and they're like, ugh, she doesn't have a home? Weird, ugh. Her family's poor, gross, ugh. So that's basically, that's stigma. So having a negative thoughts or feelings towards someone due to something. So the aim of Sesame Street, they're trying to get rid of this stigma of having other children or people look negatively at homeless children. Very noble. All right. The iconic educational show has a long history of raising awareness of social issues among children. Other tough topics they have addressed include dealing with parents who are in prison, living with autism, and facing bullies at school. So that's a lot of big, heavy topics for children to deal with. So yeah, parents in prison, and then bullies. You guys know what a bully is? It's when someone, sometimes they say mean things and they might make you not feel so good. So maybe they say something like, oh, you're dumb, you're not smart, and you feel sad. So that is a bully. That's bullying. Not good. So this show teaches people about this kind of stuff, which is really great. All right, so Miss Weston stressed the importance of reaching out to children who have no permanent home. She said, "We know children experiencing homelessness are often caught up in a devastating cycle of trauma, as well as the daily hardship of being homeless. Those children may suffer due to poverty, domestic violence, or other trauma that cause them to lose their home," she added. "We want homeless children to know they are not alone." Okay, so we got a couple of tricky words here, potentially. Trauma. So what is trauma? This is also a noun. So trauma is something really serious or bad or awful that happens to people. So let's say, for example, you're driving in your car, but then suddenly, another car hits you. Bam! So this car hits you and then, oh my goodness. So that's pretty scary. And maybe you get hurt in this car crash. So you can suffer trauma from this. You can get physical trauma, like your broken arm, you might break your leg, and like you can get a concussion, but you can also suffer mental trauma. This can make you feel very scared and upset for a long time. So this is trauma, not just car accidents, but when this family lost their home. It's scary, it's upsetting. So they are suffering from trauma because they lost their home. So the aim of this program on Sesame Street is to help homeless children deal with trauma from losing their home. Okay guys, so that is the little reading there. Hopefully you were able to get some information and get an idea about it. All right, so now let's take a looky-loo. All right, we got someone who said hello. Hi there, Carm. Welcome to the class. Good to see you. Okay, now let's do the true or false section. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions here. So I'd like you to look over these questions and try to figure out, are they true or are they false? Okay, so I'm going to prepare the board and we're gonna say goodbye to Lily and her family for now, but I'm sure they're gonna pop up again later. Okay. Is homelessness a big issue in your guys' cities? Do you find a lot of homeless individuals in your cities? It's definitely a problem here in Vancouver. Okay, so true or false? True or false? And let's just square that off. Okay. Question number 1, or A, sorry. The new character on Sesame Street highlights homelessness among war veterans. True or false? So what you have to do, you can either write true or you can write false, okay? And if it's false, I'd like you to try and tell me, why is it false? Okay, so let's do number 1 together. So let's see. The new character highlights homelessness among war veterans. This is false. Now, why is it false? Okay, so if you look at the beginning, we have, oh, I see someone wrote true, and unfortunately, I'm sorry, it's not true. Good try, good try. You know what, it's half right. The new character highlights homelessness among not war veterans, but children. So it highlights homelessness, among children. So war veterans, a war veteran is someone who used to fight in the army. Okay, so this is someone who went to war and then they are no longer in the army. So this is a war veteran. And I guess we could call this a soldier. So it's not about, so yes, it's not about war veterans, but it is about children. All right, and Elias has said that we should treat war veterans better, and I do agree with you. I do also think we should treat war veterans better. I'm not sure if Sesame Street has an episode on that or not. They might, but maybe they could talk about war veterans in Sesame Street. I think it would be a good idea. But yeah, this is definitely about, this highlights the homelessness among children. All right, good, thank you guys. Okay, so letter B. Okay, let's see if you guys can do letter B on your own. Okay, Sesame Street first started broadcasting. So broadcast means to be on television. So Sesame Street was first on television in the early 1970s. True or false? So this is kind of close to the beginning. The educational TV series, which has been aired since 1969, is helping to tackle the issue of homelessness. So when did it start broadcasting? Is this true or false? The early 70s. What do you think? The early 70s. Any thoughts? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if it's true. If it's false, please tell me the correct date, okay? So I'm gonna let you guys figure that out, and I'm gonna prepare question C for you. C, the new character became homeless after her family lost their home. True or false? All right, and Elias says false. Thank you, Elias. Excellent. False. No, it was not broadcasted in the early 70s. Elias, do you know when Sesame Street was first broadcast? Do you know the date by chance? I'll give you a hint. It's it's a different date. See if you can fill it in. If you can't, don't worry. It's no biggie. Don't worry. All right. We'll see if you can find the date when Sesame Street was first put into the world on television. All right. And yes, 1969. Excellent. Thank you. So it was first broadcast in 1969. Thank you, Elias. Good. So summer of 69. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. So close to the early 70s, but not quite. Okay, now C. Do we guys have an answer? True or false? Lily became homeless after her family lost her home. So remember that picture I drew of the apartment that went goodbye? So true or false for letter C? And I'm going to also prepare letter D. D, 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 D. D, 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 D. Okay. D, a Sesame Street spokeswoman wants children to feel less alone. True or false? Okay, I'm not sure if you guys know what a spokeswoman is, or we could say spokesperson. So this is someone who speaks on behalf of a company or an organization. So let me say, for example, spokesperson. Right. This is difficult. Oh, okay, are you having a bit of a tough time? Okay, don't worry, if you can't answer every single question, that's okay, don't worry. So if anyone else knows the answer, feel free to chime in. So Justin, not quite. Justin Trudeau identifies as a man. So the correct term for Justin Trudeau could be spokesman or spokesperson. He could be considered a spokesperson for Canada. Let me see, who is a famous person? So for example, maybe let's pretend I work for the SPCA. SPCA. So the SPCA, remember that organization about the animals? So this is this is an organization that helps save animals. So I am the spokesperson for the SPCA. So here's me, and you can call me a spokeswoman because I am a spokeswoman. I am a woman. So if I am the spokeswoman for the SPCA, that means I talk to everybody about this is the SPCA and we need money to help save animals. What we do is that we try to make sure every animal is safe and happy. So I represent the SPCA. Just for example, that's what a spokesperson is. So there is a spokesperson for Sesame Street. She talks about Sesame Street. All right, so for C, let's do C. The answer for letter C, the new character became homeless after her family lost their home. That is true. Yes. So Lily did become homeless after she and her family lost their home. All right. And D. So the spokeswoman, what was her name? She has a name. Miss Weston. So the spokeswoman, so this is Miss Weston. Miss Weston. And she doesn't speak about the SPCA. She talks about Sesame Street. Sesame Street. Sesame Street. So maybe she talks about Elmo. And maybe she talks about homelessness. And maybe she talks about many other things. So Miss Weston is talking about Sesame Street. So she says she wants children to feel less alone. True or false? Let's see if I can read out a hint. Okay, so I'm gonna read this out, see if you can guess the answer. A Sesame Street spokeswoman, Sherry Weston, hoped the character Lily would reduce the stigma associated with homelessness and allow children to identify with her and hopefully feel less alone. So she wants children to feel less alone. The answer is true. Thank you, Elias. Good, nice. Superstars, good stuff. Okay, whew, I'm getting hot. Time for me to take a drink of water. Yeah. Elias, did you used to be a student at GC by chance? At least she tried. Yes, she tried. That's right. She tried. I think she did a good job. Yeah, Elias, were you a student at GC? I might remember you. I remember an Elias before in class. Okay. Ooh, E. Okay. So we got 4 left. We got E. We have F. We have G and we have H. Oh no, YouTube algorithm brought me here. Oh, okay. So maybe a new student. Well, welcome then. Hopefully you're enjoying the lesson. Okay. Sweet. Okie dokie. And, all right, so we're gonna do E. Are you guys ready? In the past, Sesame Street has raised awareness of living with autism. True or false? Okay, so autism. And do you guys know what autism is? So this is when certain folks' brains are wired a bit differently. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so with autism, sometimes people will learn in a different way. They might be overstimulated by certain sounds or feelings. So, normally when people talk to someone with autism, they might be a bit confused with how this person behaves. So Sesame Street, they tried to highlight autism in the past. Is this true or is this false? What do you guys think? So let's see if we can find the answer. No thoughts? That's okay. All right, I'm going to, let's see if I can find the answer in here and give you guys a hint. All right, so other tough topics Sesame Street has addressed include dealing with parents who are in prison, living with autism, and facing bullies at school. So is letter E, is that true or false then? Okay, and F. This is a tricky one, F. The spokeswoman spoke about the devastating trauma of cycles. True or false? So this is going to be a very tricky one to answer because the wording's a bit mixed up. The spokeswoman spoke about devastating trauma of cycles. Okay, so I'll read out number 6. Okay, we know children experiencing homelessness are often caught up in a devastating cycle of trauma. All right, thank you for your participation, Elias. Have a good night. Okay, and thank you for tuning in. All right, okay, I don't see any answers for letter E, but yes, E is true. So E is true. In the past, Sesame Street has raised awareness of dealing with autism. Good. So F, I'm gonna let you guys try and figure it out. Again, it's a little bit tricky, but you can do it. All right, and we still have just under 20 minutes. Okay. G, the spokeswoman described homelessness as being a daily hardship. True or false? Now, hardship, what is a hardship? Sorry, I'm probably putting a few too many words on here. But a hardship is something that is difficult to deal with. So, for example, people who are homeless, sometimes they might have to sleep outside in the cold. That is a hardship. People who have little money might have to go without eating some days. That is a hardship. So a hardship is a difficulties you have in life. All right. So, G, is this true or false? The spokeswoman described homelessness as being a daily hardship every day that happens. Okay. Okay, so for F, I don't see any answers. That's okay. This was a very tricky one. Okay, so the answer for F is false. Because the spokeswoman spoke about the devastating trauma of cycles. But that's not what she talked about. She didn't talk about the trauma of cycles. She talked about the cycle. She didn't talk about the trauma of cycles. She talked about the cycles of trauma. So it's a bit of a switch around. So what this means, like the cycles of trauma. So let's say you have trauma from losing your house. Then let's say you have trauma from not having any food. And then maybe you get bullied at school. And then this is trauma too. And this is a cycle of trauma, like a circle. So that is what this is. Okay, good. Now, G. Somebody wrote true. That is good. Yes, G is true. She does talk about the hardships of homelessness. Nice. Good job, guys. Last one. H. The spokeswoman wants us to have more children, so we are not alone. True or false? Is that what she's talking about? Does she want us to have more children? So she's talking about homelessness. She says she wants children to feel less alone. Now, did she say we need more children? Did she talk about this? Is this true or false? What do you guys think? I'll give you a moment to think about it. I'm just gonna grab more water in the meantime. Okay. All right, so someone said false, and that is correct. Good, thank you. Yes, that is false. She did not talk. She didn't say we need more children. She did not talk about this. She wants children to feel less alone. She didn't say we need more children. She did not mention that at all. Good, okay, so that's it for the true and the false. How was that, guys? Was that difficult? Easy? So-so? Let me know. Okay, so I'm gonna erase this. So we're all done with the trues and the falses and the falses and the truesies. How we doing? Okay. All right, so now we're gonna do synonym match. Synonym match. Okay, what is a synonym? So a synonym is a word that is similar in meaning to another word. So for example, happy is a synonym for glad. Glad is a synonym for happy. These words have very similar meanings, almost the same. So this is what a synonym is. What's another good synonym? Let's see. How about angry and mad? Mad is a synonym for angry. So what we're going to do is I want you to try and match the synonyms, okay? So let's write down the words. Number 1, world famous. Ooh, world famous. Okay, so on the left here, you're gonna notice we have words from letters A to J, and I want you to try and find the word on the left that matches. So what's it gonna be? Is it gonna be tackled, reflects, consciousness, broadcast, secure? Type in your answers. Okay, number 2, plight. Okay, this was a word that came up a lot in the reading. I want to see if you guys can figure it out. So let's see. So this is in the first sentence. The world famous children's television show, Sesame Street, has introduced a new character to highlight the plight of homeless children. Okay, so let's see if you can figure out what plight means. Okay, and number 3, aired. Okay, so this is a passive or a past tense verb. Okay, so world famous, the answer is not E, the F. Renowned, renowned, renowned. So world famous, renowned. So Sesame Street is a renowned children's television show. Very famous, known around the world. Okay, now I want you, let's put an equal sign. So I want you to please type in the letter from this side, or you can type in the word and let me know which word is similar to plight, okay? Go ahead. And I'd like you to do the same for aired. What do you think aired means? And number 4, mirrors. Okay, mirrors. Okay, now I know this looks like a noun where you look at your reflection in the mirror, but this is actually a verb, so be careful. But it's similar to like a mirror that you look in for your reflection. So try to look for a word that is connected to mirrors. Okay, and for plight, I see somebody has written down I, predicament, and that is correct. Predicament. Oops, wrong one. Predicament. Predicament. Okay, so this might be another new word for you guys, but a predicament can be an issue or a problem. Okay, so this is usually used to reflect kind of like big problems. So the plight of homelessness, or some people, for example, immigrate to Canada, to the United States, or to England to escape the plight of war from their countries. So a plight is like a big problem. All right. Air. Do we have any answers? Somebody said broadcast. Very good. Broadcast is what letter? D. Very good. Let's get rid of that mess. D. Broadcast. 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 So Sesame Street first broadcasted in 1969. And mirrors. Did anyone get the little hint I give? Mirrors, like you're kind of looking at your reflection. And someone wrote reflects. Excellent. Good. Thank you. Reflects. That is letter B. Okay. Reflects. So let's say, for example, every day, maybe I write in a diary. So when I write in my diary, I am reflecting on my day. So my diary reflects my inner thoughts. So maybe in person, I'm not going to talk very much. I'm not going to talk about what's in my head. But in my diary, what I write reflects what's in my head. Good. Okay. My throat's getting very dry. At the part of me, I'm not used to talking this much. I've had a very quiet few weeks, apparently. Okay, I'll get my voice back up to shape though. Okay, let's get rid of that, because you all know what a synonym is now. Okay, how we doing, friends? We got like what, 7-8 minutes left? Doing good, feeling good, yeah? Okay. What else do we have? Number 5, reduce. Reduce. And number 6, awareness. Awareness. Number 7, addressed. Addressed. Number 8, permanent. Permanent. Okay. So let's tackle these 4 questions for now. So what does reduce mean? I'll give you a little hint. All right. So let's say I drink a lot of soda or pop every day. Maybe I drink 3 glasses of soda. Okay, that's too much. I need to reduce the amount of soda. So maybe I'm going to reduce it to 2 glasses of soda a day. So what is another word for reduce on the left side? I gave you a big hint. All right, awareness. Now what does awareness mean? So awareness, so for example, I think some people in Vancouver do not have, I think many people in Vancouver have a good awareness of the homeless predicament that is in our city. So many people in Vancouver know about, they are aware of the homeless problem. So what's another good synonym for awareness in our little handy dandy list of words here? Addressed. All right. Addressed means, okay, so for example, I had a meeting with my coworkers And we addressed the problem of not having coffee. Oh, so maybe at work we love to have free coffee, but we don't have free coffee. So at my work meeting, we addressed the problem of not having coffee. We talked about it. So another good word for addressed is, and last one, permanent. Permanent. So permanent kind of means like forever, lasting for a very long time. So for example, I have a permanent home with my husband. I'm very lucky. All right. Oh, I see someone has commented through our Facebook page. Oh, great. Thank you, Vladimir. Thank you. Good to see you here. Excellent. Thank you for tuning in, Vladimir. Okay. So, do we have any thoughts about these answers? Feel free to chime in. Okay. Reduce. Somebody wrote lesson. Thank you very much. Not like English lesson, but so you guys know this, less, right? Less, more. So lesson. So I'm lessening my cups of soda from 3 to 2 cups a day. Nice. All right, good stuff, guys. And awareness. I don't see any answers for awareness. All right, so I was hoping for C, consciousness. Consciousness. So this is similar to awareness or knowing about. All right, and number 3, addressed. Okay, so this is like to kind of talk about an issue, to bring up an issue. And somebody wrote tackled. Very good. Tackled. That is right. Good job. A. Tackled. Okay. So basically, it's very similar meanings to address a problem, to tackle a problem. You talk about it, and then you want to try to solve it. So remember, I think a couple minutes ago, I was like, okay, guys, let's tackle these 4 problems. So we've tackled 3 of these questions. We got 1 left to tackle. All right, and, oh, okay, we're coming up to the end of class, so I'm gonna be really quick here. Permanent, I don't see any answers. That is okay. The answer here was secure, which is E, secure. All right, and just quickly, I'm gonna go over number 9, devastating. Devastating. Okay, this is an adjective. So devastating. So for example, in 2011, Japan experienced a devastating earthquake in the Tohoku region. It was awful, like really bad. So what's another good word? What's a synonym for devastating, guys? And number 10, trauma. I think I told you trauma already, so this might be easy. Maybe. Okay, so devastating. What is another adjective over here for devastating? It also starts with a D. And trauma. Okay. I see someone wrote destructive. Good, thank you. Yes, H, destructive. Destructive. All right, and trauma, that means the last one's going to be shock. Nice, good stuff, guys. Trauma, shock, very good synonyms for one another. Okay, guys, so that looks like we have come to the end of our class. My apologies that we didn't quite get through the whole exercise. All right, so we got quite a bit of participation today. Thank you so much, guys. It was very lovely to talk with you and have your feedback. Okay, so I believe you have an assignment that's due tomorrow, perhaps, your writing assignment. So please remember to submit your writing assignment before class tomorrow so I can take a look at it. All right, so I'm gonna be your teacher again tomorrow and I look forward to teaching you again. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye. Bye.